Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Okay, so I have a question for you. What problem do you have right now? Right now. I don't mean in the mind of maybe what SP is doing or not doing, what Carl at work's doing or not doing. Sorry if your name's Carl, I just use that name sometimes. I um I don't mean the banking situation, like how much money you have or the check that didn't come. I mean, what problem do you have right now? Absent of story in the mind, what problem do you have of right now? If you were to look around your surroundings, whether you're driving, whether you are sitting in your living room on the couch, what problem do you have right now? There isn't one, correct? Now, can the mind say, yeah, but so and so still hasn't texted me today? So and so told me that they wouldn't date me if I was the last human on earth. So and so said that my check's not going to be here for another 3 weeks. And I don't mean that. I mean, what problem do you have right now? Not what somebody said, not what you perceive somebody doing or not doing. I don't mean the imagination world of what you may be concerned about and worried about right now. I mean right now. I mean right now in your surroundings. What problem? Okay, cool. So let's not get reality confused with worry and confused with perception and confused with projection, confused with fear of, yeah, I guess it would be projection and perception, right? So nonetheless, let's not get reality confused with this. So what happens usually most of the time, almost all the time, probably all the time, when we think we have a problem, it exists in the mind. Okay. Now, I'll make this video uh, SP related. I get it. I will make it SP related. So let's look at this here. We have belief systems, right, that caused all these we would say unwanted things, right, that we say we don't want. Again, I want to remind you, say we don't want. And it caused all these things, and it has its perceptions, right? It assigns meaning. It's responsible for a lot of our automatic behaviors, right? And we filter the world through these belief systems. Simple enough. If somebody has let's just say somebody has a belief system or a belief, my bad, that they are enough, and maybe they have another one that's like I'm committed to, or have no issues with in romantic relationships. I feel whole, healthy, happy, and complete right here as is, right? And then we have somebody else who has the opposite of those beliefs going on. They perceive not getting a text back two entirely different ways. Two entirely different ways. So the act of someone not texting back is absolutely meaningless, right? Absolutely meaningless. The act of somebody even telling you that I wouldn't want to date you if you're the last human on earth is absolutely meaningless, right? And these two different belief systems are going to perceive both of those things completely different. Even if somebody told the let's just say more healthy, I'm committed to, uh, romantic relationships are easy for me, things like that. Like, let's just say somebody told this person, I wouldn't talk to you if you're the last person on earth. This person probably has the potential to be like, yeah, but people change their mind. People change their mind. Uh, they'll see, right? They'll change their mind. They'll definitely see. I'm it. Another person, like the opposite, right? That I'm not committed to, that I'm not enough. They just use that as confirmation of self. That's it. They were only able to perceive through the belief system in the first place. So if you're not getting the text back and you're perceiving reality, right? Reality as if like this 3D reality is just smacking you in the face when really all we're doing is sitting on the couch or driving to work, and we're in reality. Like that's what we think, right? We're living in reality. Like SP's not texting. SP said this. SP's doing this, not doing that, right? Is it happening right now? No. I mean, in your physical, are they right next to you telling you these things? Even the not texting back, like how are you perceiving it? Because the perception is always going to tell you more about you than it is about what's actually going on. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up is we can't see out of our belief system. We're going to perceive looking for self. And here's why. Check this out. How do you keep a fire going? You keep putting logs on it, right? Fire needs more logs. That's just how it has to work. You see the fire going, you see the flame going, you see the fucking the log starting to dwindle, starting to flame up. You got to throw another log on there. Belief system works the exact same way, right? It doesn't need the person to be there saying these things. It doesn't need the person to actually tell you that I would never date you if you're the last person on earth. It doesn't need that. It will do it alone at your house on the couch, just imagining these worst case scenarios, throwing the log on the fire of the belief system, keeping it alive. Because there's nothing happening right now. Like, nothing. Like, this is beautiful stuff, right? But like, if I wanted to sit here on this chair right here and start worrying and imagining worst case scenarios, I could. But still, all that's happening is I'm just right here. Okay. So when you find yourself perceiving these not getting the text back, when you find yourself perceiving uh, permanency in what somebody said, you are throwing a log on the fire of belief. You are keeping this belief system alive because the belief system needs your constant belief in it. It needs your constant reactions, your constant trying to control things. It needs your constant approval or disapproval, right? So like it can't see outside of itself on top of this. So like that's why if somebody if you have a belief system, which I'm assuming you probably do, or uh, kind of in that ballpark, because if not, you wouldn't have typed in how to get my person back on YouTube kind of thing, right? And then continued chasing this person and making it all about them. We probably wouldn't be doing that if we didn't have these types of belief systems, like not being enough and not being committed to and not being worthy and yeah, just not enough as is kind of thing, right? So if we have that, that's why we sabotage the things anyway. Like my wife was in love with me. She loved me. She cared for me. She did, I mean, above and beyond type of stuff to show me like and be there for me. And internally, I insisted that she didn't love me. Internally, I insisted that she was going to betray me or that she was deceitful or something. She had showed no proof of this. None of this had, nothing was said, nothing was done. This was all in my imaginal world. Because guess what? When someone started to love me, if I didn't feel loved, I couldn't see it, and I damn sure didn't accept it because that's just not who I am. So I have to project onto you, and I have to start seeing you in accordance with how I see myself. And then guess what? Eventually, it gets pushed out because guess what? Everyone is yourself pushed out. So we're doing this with all sorts of beliefs, like all sorts of beliefs, no matter what the belief may be. Once the belief is taken on, it can't see outside of itself. And most of the time, almost all the time, nothing is happening. We're just chilling right here in the present moment, right? We can see we're missing all the beauty, we're missing all the love, all the wholeness, the vastness right here, right now, because we're lost in imagination, because we're believing mind stuff, throwing logs on the fire of belief to keep this belief system alive, and then saying, I actually don't want this. I actually want to be love chosen and committed to. But we're spending our time thinking of the opposite because that's all we can perceive. We don't get the text back, or we do get the text, and it's like, oh, they only sent 3 words. Oh, they only said that. Oh, they didn't text back. They text back at 7:07 yesterday. Now it's 8:07 today. It's been 25 hours. Like, when nothing is happening. You're just on the couch. You're making a pizza in the kitchen, something. Nothing that has anything to do with that, but you're lost in mind, throwing log on the belief system because the belief system needs the constant reaction. It needs the constant perception. It needs the fucking approval and disapproval. It needs you to be entertained and have attention on it. It needs you to entertain it and have attention on it, right? So when we say things like, I don't want this, then why are we doing it? Nothing's happening. We don't have to be lost in mind calling it reality and this is happening. Oh my God. Because all that's happening is we're fueling the belief system. We are keeping this little me alive that we say we want to get out of. Next time you find yourself on the couch, driving, doing anything ordinary, which is going to be most of the time, and you're lost in mind, projecting it and perceiving things as you not being enough, and what does this mean, and they don't like me, and this is reality, this is happening in 3D. I need you to stop and be aware for a moment and ask yourself, what problem do I have right now? Because what happens, guys, is it's hard to hear, but we get addicted. I know I've made videos on this before, but we get addicted to our pain. We get addicted to our thinking. We get addicted to, most importantly, reaffirming how we see ourselves, because that's how we keep the logs on the fire. Now, this is really unconscious, by the way, right? But why has it been so hard to change? Because we get on these channels, right, and we find out, oh, just change how you see this person. Sounds easy enough, right? So we want to ask ourselves, why am I having trouble perceiving the person as loving or nice even? And I say I love this person. I say I want this person. This is my specific person. Out of all the people in the world, specifically, I'm talking about that one. I like that one. I love that one. That's who I want. But I think the fucking worst of them. Like I can't even stand them. What does that say about you at that point? Now I'm only calling you out because this is how I had to ask myself. This is how I had to look at things for myself. I'm like, this is way more about me. I'm over here saying I love myself, but I just tend to be really into a person that I think is going to betray me, that I think is this way and think is that way. I'm saying I'm a priority over here, but everything I'm doing is to get this person to think of me as a priority. Maybe they're priority. Guys, it should not be hard to perceive somebody in a loving light that we say that we love. So we love them, or what, or are we just using them for confirmation of how we see ourselves to keep throwing this log on the fire? Because again, we don't even need them to be saying things or not saying things. We'll do it all in imagination. All in imagination. I'll never forget it. I remember thinking if my wife would just come back, I could finally like get myself together, because like I know I messed it up. Know I created it. Like I shouldn't have done that. But if I just get her back, I'll be able to do these certain things or whatever. I was lost, I can tell you that, because I had her and I was fearful, insecure, and doubtful. Her physical presence did nothing. I was still only able to perceive her how I wanted unconsciously to perceive her. Because if you have belief systems like I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not committed to, then that's what you actually want. Don't let the conscious mind fool you, because if it did want it, why is it so hard to see them any other way? Why is the natural perspective why to see them as not wanting you and not loving you and not going to commit to you? Things like that. Maybe you want to find someone better, right? Why is that natural? Why is it so hard at that point? The addiction to reaffirming how we see ourselves, the addiction to the drama, the constant thinking. Eckhart Tolle said addiction can be simply put as the inability to stop when you want to. Can you stop when you want to? Can you stop obsessing over this person whenever you want to? Can you stop the stories, the the emotional roller coaster that you put yourself through, can you stop that whenever you want to? Just, oh, never mind, I'm not doing that anymore. Or does it have you? That's addiction, right? It's unconscious. Okay. So then we say we don't want it, just like I did with alcohol back in the day. I don't want to. I want to be sober. I want everything to be good. I want peace. But and then boom, I was drinking, sabotaging things again. You know, in AA they have a little thing that says I'm relieved of the obsession to drink, and that's what we're looking for. Or I used to go to AA back in the day, and like that's the idea, is to be relieved of the obsession so we can start moving on, right? And I was on a live stream the other day on TikTok. I was a part of someone's live stream, and I brought that up. I was like, man, I like to do regular stuff because I'm relieved of the obsession of manifesting. I'm relieved. I'm no longer obsessed with trying to reaffirm myself. I'm no longer obsessed with and addicted to pain. Because if you're identified with pain, these types of belief systems of not being enough, being abandoned, this is painful stuff, right? And so then we seek more pain to reaffirm how we see self because it's comfortable. But then we consciously say, I don't want that. We consciously say, I love this guy. But our natural thoughts about this person is, I don't like them. I don't like anything about them. But I love them. Now, what's more plausible? That you really love them, or are you addicted to pain and drama and reaffirming how you see self? Not saying you don't love them, but I am saying there's something in the way at that point. So, if you came to my house, I know I've shared this example before, but I was smacking my fingers with a hammer. With a hammer. And you said, Bradley, what are you doing? I was like, oh, just smacking my fingers with a hammer. He said, does it hurt? Oh my God. I'm like, man, you don't even know. It's excruciating. You're like, why don't you stop? I'm like, well, I've been doing it forever. I want to. I want to stop. I'd like to. I really don't like doing this. You'd say, listen, just stop. I'm like, well, I'm watching some manifestation content. I'm trying to figure it out, you know? Like I'm learning some things. And when it really catches, like when it really catches, I'm gonna stop. I've seen success stories and stuff, you know, people doing stuff like this, just hurting themselves and then getting it and stuff, you know. And you'd be like, well, listen, Bradley, you can just stop. You can just stop. Like, you don't have to do that. And then I just stopped. Okay, you're right. Cool. You're right. So I don't have to watch more videos. Okay, cool, sweet. I just stop. I can just stop suffering right now. I can just stop putting myself through pain. Okay, cool. And then we're talking, and then I leave the room, and then you go to find me. I'm just in the room, just smacking my fingers with hammers again. Would you think that I didn't want to do that? Now, I'm not saying that you wouldn't think that I had maybe something going on upstairs, like as far as maybe being identified with certain things, right? But you would still think like you clearly chose to do that, even if it was like kind of unconscious. Like there's something in you that keeps doing that. Why? I stopped drinking whenever when I actually wanted to. I stopped suffering in the mind and got out of these stories when I actually wanted to. When the consequences of pain became more than my addiction to them. Um, we can do the same thing now. But if you're sitting in a room or laying on your bed at night or watching, who cares? Whatever you're doing, if you find yourself not like resisting the present moment because you're lost in the mind, smacking yourself with a hammer emotionally, putting yourself through so much suffering, so much pain, reaffirming how you see yourself, throwing logs on the fire in the mind, then we need to take a look at that and say, listen, maybe there's something to this. Because what is actually happening right now? Nothing that's going on in my mind. So I must be seeking this. I must want this somewhere. Something about me is comfortable with this. And then bringing it back to the moment, saying, listen, whoa, that was kind of insane. It's all good though. It's okay. Everything's cool right here, right now. Take a fucking breath. Do we really want to be unmoved by circumstances? Do we really want peace? Do we really want to stop hitting ourselves with a hammer? Because until we actually want to do that, it's just going to elude us, because we're just going to fall for the illusion of saying that we want one thing, but unconsciously highly identify with another, and still seeking it and still doing it, disillusioning ourselves. The ego, this identity, this mind-made identity, it loves this kind of manifestation. It loves manifestation content. You mean I'm gonna have to think about myself that much? Oh, I mean, I know I'm going to. I'm gonna say I created it, but this person's doing this. I know I created it, but oh, everything's coming from me. We're all connected. Cool. Now this person's gonna do exactly what I want. I'm gonna affirm this person does exactly what I want them to do. So I feel good about myself. So I feel safe, love. I'm gonna change a lot of things about them because I love them, but I want to change everything about them. Missing the fucking boat. Please, please make this about you. Please make this about like recognizing this insanity that we've been doing and choosing a different way. Please make this about you not suffering. Please make this about you not throwing wood on this fire anymore, and cutting the life off to these belief systems that are creating all of it, and not being able to perceive another way, not being able to even look at another meaning. Like, that's why it's so hard. Is you're like, dude, how do I see this person differently? Like in a little, the belief system doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. If it doesn't feel loved, it's not going to perceive. It's not. It doesn't want to perceive this person as loving you, because that's not how it sees itself. But you're not stuck. Like, you just have to be aware in the moment. Say, actually, no, I'm not throwing a log on this today. That's it. Nothing more is required of you. Like I tell you guys all the time, I know people have known me before of the new story is a true story. It's a great little rhyme. And it's true. If you were to tell a new story and stick with it, you'd see it, right? You stick with it predominantly, right? But no one has issues telling new stories. No one has issues coming up with the most miraculous affirmations known to mankind. People have issues believing thought and going back to identities, perspectives, and natural meanings that assigns to things, and then believing it. People have issues with sitting on a couch, tormenting themselves in the mind, hitting their fingers with hammers in the mind, pretty much. People have issues with that. Not telling a new story. The identity will let you tell a new story for a little while. And then it's like, actually, no, we're not like that. And if you're just not aware of being aware of these thoughts, or if you're just not used to being aware of these thoughts, you'll buy it again. And if it's not about you, if it's not about finally you being done, you'll buy it again. What problem do you have right now? And if you have no problem and you find yourself in these problems in the mind, you need to ask yourself, what am I getting out of this? What am I getting? Is it love that I've been saying that I am? Is it connectedness that I've been saying that I am? Is it fucking being prioritized like I said I am? Or is it fueling separateness? Is it fueling resentment? Is it fueling a little me that believes really not ideally about itself? Is this conscious or unconscious? If it's unconscious, cool, now I'm conscious of it. Now stop telling the story. Stop hitting yourself with the hammer. And every time you catch yourself grabbing the hammer, you just, oh, whoa, oh, don't do that. You don't need to find something else to hit your fingers with. You just stop entirely. Ask yourself this question: what problem do I have right now. Right now. There isn't one. There isn't one. Take a good look at how things have been. What's the reality? Right? You say that, oh, reality smacked me in the face. What's the actual reality? Are all these things just happening to you, or are you just chilling, lost in the mind? What I mean chilling is, I mean, your body just somewhere, and then you're just lost in the mind, tormenting yourself. That's the reality, probably. Get a hold of that. Now, don't be worried about what someone else is doing. No wonder you think people are going to treat you a certain way. You treat you a certain way. We need them to do it at that point. So, anyway, I love you guys. Definitely want to bring that question to your awareness. What problem do I have right now? Break the addiction to this pain stuff. Actually be done. Come on now. It doesn't. It serves you no. It serves no good. All it serves is reaffirm this little identity, throwing logs on the fire, keeping it going, and then saying, "I don't want this fire anymore," but I just keep throwing logs on it. Okay. Recognize our own insanity. Bring some sanity to it. Bring some consciousness to it. Let the shit go. All right. We got things to do. Love you guys. See you soon.